We have two special guests today from New England Sikh Study Circle, Mr. Bajwa and Mr. Bhatia. And we are going to talk to them about a new Gurdwara, which is cost is about $7 million, which will be ready next year. How they came up with this idea, what are the things they are going to do there, and how challenging or exciting this project has been. Mr. Bajwa, welcome to our studio.
Thank you, thank you.
And Mr. Bhatia, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.
So I looked at the rendering and it looks absolutely fantastic, very interesting. So tell us how, already there was an existing Gurdwara in Milford, right?
Yes.
So when this new idea come and how long project has been going on?
I'll tell you what happened. The Gurdwara we have in Milford, we were running out of space. And primarily there were two issues that were the driving factor for us to do something different. One was parking. We didn't have enough parking. The other was we didn't have enough place for the priest and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So first we thought of expanding the Gurdwara in the same location
In Milford.
Mm-hmm. And we actually did a whole bunch of architectural work for it. But then that was very counter to what we were trying to do, because increasing the size of the Gurdwara meant a bigger congregation, less space to park. So completely stopped that.
And in terms of size, like the old one is about 9,300 square feet. This is going to be about 22,000 square
It's
feet.
a little more than double the size.
Yeah.
So then the next step we thought, gee, why don't we look for an existing building that we could renovate in this thing. So we actually spent a fair amount of time looking for, large buildings. We looked at a car dealership next door, actually close by, and some other churches and all that. But we really couldn't find something that was very suitable. And then, of course, the real estate market kind of went down in the early 2004, 2005, 6. So we all decided, let's go look for land and build a whole building and make a Gurdwara that would meet the needs of the congregation for the next 50, 100 years or whatever.
So can you talk a little bit about the timeline when you bought the land, how much you paid, and then?
The land we bought was in 2012. We paid $550,000 for it, which I think was a steal.
Mm-hmm.
It's over 35,
Absolutely, yeah.
It's over 35 acres of land, and it's exactly in the sweet spot for all our congregation. What we did was we took a map of eastern Massachusetts and we plotted where all the members were. So visually you could see where the center of gravity was, and then we had a certain area where we were looking, and this turned out to be exactly in the middle of that, very close to the highway. Had all the other requisites. It had the utilities, sewer, gas, all that, water, etc., and it was perfect. And it sits on top of a hill, right off of a highway. Just perfect location. I mean, we couldn't have gotten a better location. Mm-hmm. And we looked actually for a long time. And actually, we settled on a piece of land in Berlin first, a couple of years before that. And which was also very interesting. It was very large piece of land that had a small landing strip on it. It's a small private airport sort of a thing. And we actually made a deal. We made an offer, got accepted, put down a deposit. But when we went to do the engineering, we found out that there was some special species of some rare turtles or something in the stream close by, which actually then precluded us from using as much land as we had thought. And even though we might have been able to build the Gurdwara and be sufficiently okay, I thought that the pricing was incorrectly drawn. So we went back and we asked.
So and then you broke ground in 2014?
2014.
In the spring, right?
What happened is that our congregation grew quite a bit, and with that, the demand for parking grew. And also at the same time, we felt that since the congregation was growing, the kids were growing, their children wanted to be part of the Gurdwara, and we needed them to have a place where they could worship, grow, have a nice school, have some area for them to play around.
The school was getting very tight.
So this particular property that we bought in Westborough has enough land for them to have activities outside, to have camps, for example, Sikh camps. So this seemed very, very logical step for us to do.
So can you talk also a little bit about the congregation? You talk about the growth. How many families are there, and how?
We have approximately 200 families as members, and sometimes during special occasions like Gurdwara and holidays that we have, we have almost 400 people, or even more. To accommodate that was becoming a challenge, and to feed them afterwards was also becoming even a bigger challenge. So all those things led us to do this. And most of the money that we are spending is all donation.
Okay,
Every-
Mr. Bajwa, you want to say something?
And, even though we have maybe less than 200 actual members, but as you probably know, Sikh Gurdwaras are open to everybody.
Sure.
So anybody can come. Very often, and I've noticed in the last year, we have a lot of non-Sikhs coming to the Gurdwara as well, which I think is a very positive.
So now this leads me to the next question: is what type of activities will happen in the new Gurdwara?
The new Gurdwara will have a pretty, decent-sized school for the kids to teach them, religious kind of things, but also language, history, Sikh history, music that's done at the Gurdwaras. Plus, it'll have enough space for weddings, have a large kitchen for a langar, which is the meal after the services, and it'll have a large play area outside, large parking lot, lots of, and of course, we didn't say this before, but the Gurdwara, the old and the new Gurdwara, they have a apartment for the priest.
For the priest.
So
Okay, excellent.
we have a nice apartment.
So now my last question to you is, $7 million is a big project, and you have said 200 families plus or minus a little bit. How did you raise the fund? How you are still in the process of raising funds for the project?
Yes, we are still raising, and we have taken loans also. But you'll be surprised. I mean, I was, partly surprised, but partly not so surprised. I mean, people become very generous when it comes to a Gurdwara issue. We've raised a lot of money. In fact, most of the 200 families are actually contributing monthly automatically through the bank accounts, and I think the amount is close to the mid 20,000 per month.
Yeah, per month,
per month
which
is
is very
coming in
good.
automatically.
Sure.
Even though right now we're not even paying that towards the loans and everything, so it's accumulating. And then every now and then somebody from the congregation will come up and say, okay, I'm going to give 100,000 if other people match it. So it becomes a little bit of a a fundraising thing. And then we have open houses every now and then to get people excited, and we raise $30,000, $40,000, $50,000.
And who are some of the key players in this whole, the building committee and overall group?
The building committee is large, although, with lots of people. I'm chairing the committee, but the building committee itself, is more of an informational thing.
Sure.
The actual work is being done. Gandhi is our architect.
Who's the architect? Yes, right.
He's doing a lot of work, and he's a very good architect. Anup Singh Khatra is HVAC. He's called the MEP engineer, mechanical, electrical, and plumbing work. He's doing all that. They are the two subject matter experts. I'm the overall project manager trying to get, and Malkeet Singh Gill, who's the current president, he's the fundraising committee chairperson.
Now, this Malkeet Singh Gill from the Bollywood Grill?
No. Same name,
Okay.
but two different people.
Okay.
He and Prashant Singh are the two fundraising people who are driving that. But my role is to get everything together and to kind of manage the whole project and keep it running and all that. Work with the town, work with the lawyers, work with the builders,
Sure.
the Vantage builders from Waltham, other people who are doing the construction.
General contractor.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent, Mr. Bhatia. Thank you very much for coming to our studio.
You're welcome. Very
Thank
welcome.
you.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, Mr.
and all the best.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
Sure.
Thank you.